The head of the Railroad Safety Program at the University of Delaware describes how positive train control, technology that can automatically slow or stop a speeding train, could have prevented the deadly Amtrak derailment in Seattle. December.19, the rush to launch service on a new, faster Amtrak route near Seattle came at a deadly cost. Critical speed control technology that could have prevented a derailment was not active before the train set off on its maiden voyage. Work to install the sophisticated, GPS-based technology known as positive train control isn't expected to be completed until next spring on the newly opened 15-mile, 24-kilometer, span where the train derailed, according to Sound Transit, the public agency that owns the tracks. The train was going 80 mph, 129 km per hour, in a 30 mph, 48 km per hour, zone Monday when it raced off the rails as they curved toward a bridge, hurtling train cars onto a highway below, investigators said. 3 people were killed, and dozens were injured. Federal investigators say they are looking into whether the engineer was distracted. A positive train control system could have detected the speeding and automatically applied the brakes to stop the train, said Najm Edin Meshkati, a University of Southern California professor who has studied the technology for 3 decades. It is another layer of safety, he said. Caption close Amtrak and the Washington Department of Transportation started publicizing the switch to the new route in October. Amtrak CEO Richard Anderson said that no one wants PTC more than me but would not directly answer questions about why it is taking so long to get the speed control technology up and running across the board. I am a huge believer in positive train control, he said at a news conference Tuesday evening. It just makes so much scientific sense. Anderson said the company's safety culture can continue to improve and said the crash should be seen as a wake-up call. It's not acceptable that we're involved in these types of accidents, he said. Railroads are under government orders to install positive train control by the end of 2018 after the industry lobbied Congress to extend earlier deadlines, citing complexity and cost. Union Pacific, the nation's largest freight carrier, said it was spending about $2.9 billion on the technology. Industry groups estimate railroads will spend a total of about $10 billion to install and implement the systems. Monday's wreck is just the latest example of a deadly crash that experts say could have been prevented if the technology were in place to slow down the train when engineers go too fast, get distracted, or fall ill. U.S. investigators have listed a lack of such a system as a contributing factor in at least 25 crashes over the last 20 years, including 2 in the last 4 years where a train approached sharp curves at more than double the speed limit. A Metro-North train crashed in New York City in 2013, killing 4 people, when an engineer with sleep apnea dozed off. An Amtrak train crashed in Philadelphia in 2015, killing 8 people, when investigators say the engineer was distracted by radio traffic and lost his bearings. Positive train control was installed on 23% of the nation's passenger route miles and 37% of freight route miles American Samoa of July, the last time the Federal Railroad Administration updated its online tracker for the technology.